Hey, how y'all doing? I want to make sure that said start. Yes, it did. It's Monday, people. How y'all doing? Time to get back to work here. Got to go earn money to make up for all that money you done spent on Black Friday, I'm sure. So, but I hope you had a great weekend. I know the weather's going to start turning bad up in the Northeast. It's going to start getting cold up in there. They said they done canceled a bunch of flights all over the country. And, whew, I feel for y'all with that winter weather coming on. But, anyway, what's going on? Well, I got a few pieces of mail I want to get to. First one off is Carolee Batson from Ellsworth, Maine. And Carolee sent me 2 koozies, one for a bottle and one for a can, just in case, you have a switch off there. So thank you, Carolee. And she also sent me a button because she said she noticed I had a little button collection going on there. This is Jarrett Golden. He was the candidate running in her district during the midterms there. He won. Thank you very much. And she also said, a little printout of Jarrett Golden. He's a former Marine and his rise to success there. And she sent a nice little Thanksgiving card wishing us the best of times, and we shall. And Carolee Batson is the one that I always point out the fact she painted a very nice portrait of my donkey Jenny on an oyster shell, and we treasure that little item. All right, also got, this one really made my heart warm. Kay Allen from Woodridge, Virginia. Kay has been in the family for a long time now. I enjoy Kay very much, and she sent me a card. And it just warmed my heart. It warmed Mama's heart. My kids thought it was great. Kay, thank you very much. It was very, very kind of you to do that. What Kay did is she donated to the Heifer Foundation, which is an organization that provides animals for poor families across the world in order to improve their lives. And they learn training on how to take care of the animal. And they also promise to give one of the offspring of that animal to another family in need. Kay donated a sheep to Heifers International in our name. And Kay, we appreciate it not only for our name, but for what you did and what that will do for a family around the world. And that's what being a Blue Dot is about, baby. We help when we can. And Kay reached out, and I think that's a great thing. Anyway, what the hell's going on? Well, baby, it's Monday. It's Monday, and it's a new shitstorm week. We got shit coming up we're going to be talking about all week. It didn't take long for Donnie to get involved. Donnie's on his way to Mississippi right now. He's going to go down there and campaign for Miss, what's her name? Cindy Hyde Smith or something. Yes, Cindy Hyde Smith. She's running for Senate down there in Mississippi. She's the one that was appointed by the governor. She's never won a race for Senate, so this will be her first shot at it. And Donnie's going to go down there and pump up the crowd, to lend his support. This race is about Donnie. It's about her and Donnie and the kind of people they are. We discussed her yesterday. She's the one that said the hanging remark. Oh, she'd be on the front row to watch a man choke to death. She went to a all-white academy high school so she wouldn't have to intermingle with, those other people. And then she came out with a statement saying, and I want to read this again because I don't want to mess it up. Maybe we want to make it just a little more difficult to vote due to the liberal folks in those other schools who maybe we don't want to vote. And I think that's a great idea. That's who Donnie's going to visit. That lady. She doesn't want you to vote, unless you're of a certain color and of a certain persuasion. Now, just because you're white doesn't mean that you're a true Confederate. There's Democrats in Mississippi, and a lot of them, baby. Evidently, there's still some trolls there because now they're finding nooses hanging around the state capitol in Mississippi ahead of this race. Now, what message do you think somebody's trying to send? They're the same messages that what's his face down there in Florida got from all the robocalls from racists up in Utah. That's who's doing it. White supremacist, neo-Nazi asshole cockroaches are out stringing up nooses around the town so that the message gets out, baby. that maybe there will be a hanging to attend for Cindy Hyde Smith. I don't think so, baby. I think you and your ilk are destined to be nothing but, what did they say, in the dustbin of history, baby? Because that's where Donnie and she belongs, in the dustbin of history. We're trying to erase that racist shit from our country. And we have a president and we have a senator running for re-election who just embellishes that shit, loves it, is proud to be a white supremacist. That's what I think. That's what I believe she is. It comes in her actions, it comes in her words. Yeah, she's speaking in an all-white crowd. You bet she'd just show up at that hanging real quick. You know, wink, wink. Bullshit. Mississippi, like I said yesterday, has a choice to make. And it's the basic choice of American values. Do we elect a racist woman who thinks it's a great idea to restrict voting rights for people of maybe another color? That's bullshit. It's everything un-American about what we fight against. And I'm sad to see him going. But he's going to Mississippi, going to make 2 stops, baby. 2 stops. And it's about hatred. That's what he's going to be. I want to read this before I get too involved here, because I got a message. I got an email from somebody. And it plays into this, what we see happening at the border, that we're throwing tear gas now. Tear gas at migrants who want to try to come into this country. And the reason they got all upset, I believe, is because for the last 10 days they put a hold on accepting any more applications for asylum there. Then people are getting nervous. His little tweets don't help a bit. And now he's up there. That's just outright saying it this morning, baby. Ain't nobody coming into this country unless they come in legally, and he is making it as difficult as possible for that to happen. He is stirring the pot. That's exactly what's happening down there. I got this email, and I'm going to read it. The subject line read, "It should tell us something about her home country that a mother is willing to travel 2,000 miles with her 4-month-old son to come here. How we respond when she arrives tells us something about our country." I think that tagline kind of caught it all. It says, John, it should tell us something about her home country that a mother is willing to travel 2,000 miles with her 4-month-old son to come here. It should tell us something about our country that we only respond to this desperate need once she is at our border. So far in this administration, that response has included taking kids from their parents, locking them up in cages, and now tear gassing them at the border. People are leaving violent countries where they fear for their lives without money. They are sustaining on hope for their kids, for themselves, that they can get to safety. After being denied the ability to lawfully petition for the asylum for the last 10 days, they are desperate. We choose how to respond to this challenge. Let's do this the right way and follow our own laws. Allow asylum seekers to petition for asylum at our ports of entry. They must do so peaceably and to follow our laws, but we must also ensure the capacity to effectively and timely process those claims. Right now, 5,000 are in waiting in Tijuana, and only 40 to 100 are processed a day. Those who have a credible fear of returning to their home country, as determined by a U.S. judge, will be able to stay until their full asylum request has been determined. Those applicants ultimately granted asylum will then live in the U.S., make us a better country for being here, and those who are not granted asylum will be returned to their home country. Longer term, work with the people of Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador to address underlying conditions that are causing them to flee in the first place. That means addressing efforts of our failed past involvement in those countries in their civil wars, their drug trade in their drug wars, and the institutional failings of those countries' rule of law. It won't be easy and will involve a much greater investment of time, focus, and resources. Or we can continue to ignore those countries and their people until they show up at our border. And it's signed Beto O'Rourke. And that's why I supported him then, and that's why I'm going to continue to support him now. He looks to the future of how we deal with these kind of crises. We spend more money on Donnie's golf trips and rally trips that we could make a real impact in those countries. But we choose not to. This administration chooses to threaten them with even less assistance than they get now. He thinks that's the answer. Just make things worse down there. When they're worse, they try to leave. They try to find a new home. They try to find safety for their family, a job, an honest income. And there are those in our country that fight so hard against that, even though in their own families, their chances are their forefathers came here as immigrants into this country. It's sad what we do when we wait so long that it is a major crisis. And baby, let me tell you something. He's going to be pumping this at those rallies today. He's going to talk about the marauding gangs coming over and storming the border. There were women and children in there, firing tear gas at them. Because for 10 days, he has tried to put a stop to any asylum seekers. So he stirred that pot. He made it worse. He wanted them to do something because that's what Donnie is. That's his whole modus operandi. Chaos, baby. Chaos. At the border, in the market, anywhere. Chaos. That's how he wins. Hey, did y'all see the climate report that came out on Friday? Well, Donnie was asked about it on his way to Mississippi today. They asked him about it. What do you think about the climate report that came out from our own government telling you what things are going to do? And by the year 2050, hell, that's only 32 years away. Things are going to change. And what did Donnie say? I don't believe it. That's what Donnie said. I don't believe it. Of course he doesn't believe it. It's from our government. It's from our institutions. He doesn't believe in that shit. No, he doesn't believe in that. He goes right on with the same shit. Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Slice and Dice. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. We never know. Russia interference. We don't know. Maybe could have been a 400-pound guy on a bed. Yeah, he's making a habit here. It's a pattern here, baby. Ain't nothing that man. Russia takes down 3 Ukrainian ships and shuts down a strait to prevent Ukrainian ships from using international waters. And what does Donnie say? Well, you know, there's things happening on both sides. Sound familiar? There's good people on both sides. Donnie's not going to take a stand against Russia. Are you shitting me? That's his daddy. He's not going to take around against Saudi Arabia. That's his income, baby. It's all about the money. It always has been with this guy. Kushner's in the news today because Kushner went over there to meet before the midterms over there to meet with the Crown Prince of Slice and Dice over there to work on the arms deal that we have going on with Saudi Arabia. And it's a $15 billion deal. $15 billion deal is what Saudi Arabia wanted to buy from us. But Kushner evidently went over there to talk to him and say, hey, that's not big enough. We need it bigger. We need to fudge these numbers up. Think long term. How much can you spend 100 years from now? Well, we'll make it $110 billion. It's a number he pulled out of his ass that he worked with the Crown Prince in Saudi Arabia to boost up that number. It's bullshit. It's already been reported that the Saudis are locked into our shit. All of their equipment is American shit. It's not Russian. It's not Chinese. They can't just switch to another system. Hell no, they're tied to our system, baby. So this bullshit that Donnie tells you that, if we don't do this deal, we're going to lose out and Russia and China's going to get the deal. That's bullshit. It's another lie he pulls out of his ass. He just spreads it out there thinking whoever bites on it will be good. He's ignorant. But I think that speaks a lot to what Jared Kushner is doing inside our government, baby. He's trying to work personal deals, man. He's trying to shovel the bullshit up so high nobody can see through it. But we're going to see, baby. It's a matter of time before we do. Anyway, we landed on Mars, baby. They showed the JPL, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, people going nuts. They successfully landed a probe on the surface of Mars, and they're going to be able to dig down about 16 feet into the planet there to find out temperature and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a big deal. It takes a lot of work to get those things there successfully. They haven't always done it successfully, but you can't give up trying, baby. You got to keep trying. They did, and they were successful this time. So kudos to them that we have that. So what else is going on? General Motors is closing 5 plants. 4 here in the United States and 1 in Canada. What's up, Donnie? Oh, well, Donnie explained today. It's because the Chevy Cruze isn't selling well. It has nothing to do with the tariffs. Nothing to do with the tariffs at all. Don't blame the tariffs. 4 plants in the United States and 1 in Canada. They're closing. They're losing 15% of their salaried workforce. That's engineers and all sorts of people. 15%. It's a big drop. Where's Donnie with all that work coming in to the United States? All these companies, all this. And now he's threatening GM. They better do something. Or what, Donnie? Or what? You're going to hold your breath? You're going to lie some more? Make up some bullshit about some employee at General Motors? Maybe there's a scandal in there. Truth is, they're all just working against you, Donnie. But don't worry, just because you're paranoid, buddy, doesn't mean they're not out to get you. Mueller is, buddy. I'm counting on that. So I read a story today. Well, actually, I've been following it for a few days, but I read another story today about it. About a Manic Bradford Jr., EJ Jr., shot by an officer responding to a mall shooting over in Alabama. And the story broke out that there's a hero cop that shot the bad guy with the gun. Well, now that cop knows he's not a hero. That cop shot the good guy with the gun. The problem is, the good guy with the gun was black. The officers say he was brandishing a weapon. Brandishing a weapon. They changed that verb to say that he held a gun. He wasn't brandishing a gun, but hey, what's with a verb? You know, you change a verb here, you change a verb there. Well, it doesn't make any difference. Yes, it does. As a matter of fact, there's reports that his gun was holstered. And the family wants the body cam footage released, but that hasn't happened yet. It's all been turned over to the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, the state investigative force there. What makes me think if that body cam showed that officer responding correctly, that it would have already been released? I don't want to jump the gun here. But that guy had a permit. EJ had a permit for that gun. He was the good guy with the gun. And what happened to him? He's shot, dead, in a millisecond. When that cop saw him, he shot him. He did not say a word. He did not say hands up. He did not say freeze. He shot him because he saw a gun. And therein lies the problem with everybody gets a gun. Hell, everybody get a gun. They have everybody whip out a gun. You don't know who the bad guy is. You don't know who the good guy is. Hell, just shoot them all. And we'll sort them out later. That's not good law enforcement, baby. Of course, it's not good laws that allow everybody in God's creation to go walking around with a pistol on their hip. That's the days we live in nowadays. People are scared. Not of terrorists, not of marauding Hondurans coming across the border. No, they're scared of Bubba down the street. Little Tommy that's pissed off about some shit. That's who we got to worry about. It's just a shame because they always say, where's the NRA? Where is the NRA defending EJ? He was a licensed firearm owner. He had a permit to carry that gun. Where is the NRA coming out to defend this man? They're not going to come out because it doesn't coincide with their target audience, you know, the white guy that owns the gun. Black guy that owns the gun? Oh, well, we don't want to, Yeah, we don't know. Has he got a criminal record? Yeah, he looked a little bit suspicious. The NRA, the National Russian Alliance, doesn't give a shit about Mr. Bradford Jr. No. They're not going to come out and defend him. They're going to wait. He was brandishing a weapon, you know. They changed that word. It tells you everything. He wasn't brandishing a gun. Witnesses say he was trying to wave people to safety. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because he's dead and in the grave, and his family will mourn forever for that. And it's another senseless death. I see where the doctors are getting more involved in the gun issue. I'm glad to see that. Pushing back on the NRA's famous little line about stay in your lane. You just worry about taking the bullets out of people. Don't worry about how they get in there. That's none of your concern. We have major problems in this country, and we can't solve them until we get the people out of office that prevent the work from being done. Mitch McConnell, yeah, he ain't going to bring shit to the damn floor. He's not interested, baby. Money, baby. It's all about the money. Who's paying him? It's not the constituents of Kentucky. I guarantee you that, baby. Those people have nothing to do with Mitch McConnell. I hope he gets his ass voted out next time because Kentucky needs to wake up to the most disgusting excuse this country's ever seen for a Senate leader. Ain't nothing leading about that man. He's a pure obstructionist. He's a disgusting turd. I hate him. Anyway, you see, we got a bunch of red trees in the White House for Christmas. I don't know if that's the Russian red or if it's the Republican red. What makes me think it's not the red that's on our flag? It just doesn't. Let's don't go there right now. Anyway, that's about all I got today, people. It's Monday. We have work to do. We have a long way to go. But our work is cut out for us. We know what's on the horizon. We know what we have to change. That letter from Beto O'Rourke says it all. We can't change this. We can't fix this at the border. We have to fix it before it gets to our border. And that's where we come in as a benevolent nation, as I like to say. We need to be a benevolent nation. We should be, and we used to be a benevolent nation. We cared about others around the world. But Donnie's America first, baby. Screw all them people. They don't need no help. They can't pull themselves up by their own bootstraps. We'll just screw them over. That's Donnie. Donnie doesn't care about globalists, the global community. Donnie cares about his bank account. That's all. Right now he's a little concerned about keeping his ass out of jail. Anyway, that's about all I got. Like, share, subscribe. John Bernavo of Blue Dot in Texas on YouTube. John Bernavo on Facebook. John Bernavo Speaks. Blue Dot Family. The family is definitely growing. Over 9,000 now family members on that page. Go over there and give them a like and get involved in the conversation. That's what it's all about. At Blue Dot in Texas on Twitter, out my truck window, and every place else I can get. We want to say a special thank you to all our Patreon members who've been donating over the last 2 years to keep this thing going, and those who donate by PayPal and by letter at times. So we appreciate all those that support the channel, and I need to always remind you of that we are very thankful for y'all. Anyway, that's all I got. Y'all take care. We'll see y'all on Wednesday. Bye.